and today's episode comes from Shalom Auslander. Auslander grew up in a strict Orthodox Jewish family where he was taught to obey all the rules of Jewish written law. If you failed to do so, he was told you would be punished in the afterlife.
You just didn't mess around. You didn't break the law. It was like growing up in a town run by Tony Soprano. You did not break the rules that Tony set, because maybe he'll be okay with it, but more than likely you're going to get some broken legs. That was God for me. And I had a grandmother, my mother's mother, and I remember that we used to go to her house, and as soon as I got there, she would give me chiclets, which were these little square gums. And I remember one time we were there that she gave me them, and my mother happened to be in the kitchen at the time, and she saw what she was giving me, and she got angry, and she's like, "Mom, what are you doing? You can't give them those. They're not kosher." Eating non-kosher is a big deal in the world that I come from. That's not a small thing. But the thing that I remember most was the next time we went back, because my mother was in the living room or something, and my grandmother was there, and she looked at me, and she put her finger over her lips and like sort of motioned me into her bedroom, which was right off the kitchen. And she pulls out a box of chiclets, and she pours a couple in my hand, and says, "Shh, don't tell anybody. It's just gum." And I think it was this sort of like crack in the wall of the prison for me. Because here was this somebody who knew what she was doing, but felt that, in a way, happiness was more important than keeping kosher, than God himself. I'll never forget that, because I think it opened up my mind to the possibility that maybe there were things that were more important in the world than keeping the strict letter of God's law. And maybe that thing was happiness, and maybe it was love, and maybe it was family. And I think that stuck with me. And I think that I've ever since been on a mission to live that way to some degree.
That was Shalom Auslander. He's now a writer living in Culver City, California. His newest book, coming out later this month, is called Feh, a memoir. It's about his struggle to create a new story for himself after leaving Orthodox Judaism. You can find more stories like this on the My Unsung Hero podcast. Support